May 21st, 2001 was an historic weather day here in Michigan. Our state saw more tornadoes in one day than we've ever seen. Bill Steffen joining us from the Man Cave to talk a little bit about what happened that day. Hi, Bill.
Sue, I remember this day well. I was doing a speech in the morning over in Spring Lake, and it was a cool rain. Temperatures to start the day were in the 50s. There were showers just about everywhere. In fact, we got over an inch of rain in Grand Rapids that particular day, and almost an inch down in the Kalamazoo area. As I got into work, the first tornado was touching down, and that was in the Kalamazoo area. That was an EF2. And that one destroyed a home. There was actually a large section of the roof of that home that got picked up and set down 75 yards away. That's a long distance to carry a roof. That home was totally destroyed. They had to start over. There were other homes that were damaged. That was about 4 miles west of Richland, Cooper Township area there. We had 4 tornadoes just in Kent County, and there were a couple of other places where there was some damage that we really had a hard time debating where it would go. There's a look at some of the tornadoes there. Can you believe we had 4 tornadoes in Kent County? We also had tornadoes that day in Ottawa County. That one was around 8th Avenue and 6 Mile Road in the Marne area. We had one in Allegan County around the Green Lake area. In fact, I think Round Lake, that little lake next to Green Lake right there is where it touched down. Berry County, Kalamazoo County, of course, the strongest tornado that particular day. We also had tornadoes in Eden, Gratiot, Clinton, Ionia, and Isabella counties. All total, that's 13 tornadoes if you count central and western lower Michigan, and 6 more that occurred in the southeastern part of the state.
Wow. Let's talk a little bit about the intensity of those tornadoes. What was that like?
Well, we didn't get any of the really, really big destructive ones, the F4s and F5s, but we had quite a few of the EF0 ones, and these are so hard to forecast if you're a meteorologist. Let's say you're looking at a TV screen, a monitor, and you got it on a 50-mile range, and you're looking at tornadoes that are forming that are only about 50 yards wide. It's so difficult to see in a tornado. But take a look at the F-scale ratings right there. We had 13 tornadoes between 65 and 85 miles an hour, 1 between 86 and 110 miles an hour, or actually we had 4 of those between 86 and 110 miles an hour. And we had 2 tornadoes between 111 and 135 miles an hour. Those are the 2 that did the most damage.
Wow. So we have some video from that day, Bill. Tell us where this was taken.
Okay, well, there's 2 places we have video to share with you. One is up at York Creek Apartments, which is really close to Alpine and 4 Mile Road. This tornado touched down there and kind of paralleled Alpine for a very short distance. But can you imagine if that tornado was a block to the west, that would have gone right down Alpine Avenue right there. There's a Walgreens on the corner. At the time, there was Seabell Chevrolet that had been there on that corner, and then they had turned that into a mall. So there were a lot of people that were there walking around. The second place where we have some overhead video is from the Kalamazoo tornado. Again, this is 4 miles west of Richland. This tornado was on the ground a little bit longer and had stronger winds with it. And again, many of these tornadoes were moving from south to north. Oftentimes, tornadoes move southwest to northeast, and they were very difficult to see because many of them were embedded in rain. So it was right on top of you before you knew something was going on.
Wow.
But amazing.
Yeah. So we also had other tornadoes in Michigan that year. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we had, I get this, 35 tornadoes that year in Michigan. We've had just 1 so far this year, but average is 16. But this is really kind of something really kind of interesting. We're in the 3rd year of a La Nina going into an El Nino, which is what we're going on right now. Now, I know that sounds technical here, but bear with me. In these three times, we've had a 3-year La Nina. The summer that followed produced some very interesting weather. Yeah, one of the years was 1956, and that was the year we had the big Standale tornado, the most fatalities ever here in West Michigan from a single tornado. The second time that happened was in 1976. Not only was that a big year for tornadoes during the summer, but it was followed by the coldest winter of the 20th century. Yeah, I don't think we need that right now, but it's certainly something to keep an eye on. And the 3rd year was 1998 to 2001. And of course, we had a pretty cold winter after that as well. So we're certainly keeping an eye on things. I think this El Nino is going to be stronger, so I think odds favor more of a normal winter here in West Michigan rather than a really cold one. But, you know, those years when we get these 3-year La Ninas tend to be exciting, and it certainly was back on May 21, 2001.
Okay, very interesting to look back. Bill, thank you so much for joining us once again.